Let's begin tonight at 6 with a brutal stretch of heat across central Indiana. Right now we're under this heat advisory tonight because it feels like it's triple digits outside. So anybody that's outside really looking for ways to keep cool, Rich Nye has been checking out our city's pools and splash pads. Thanks so much for inviting us in at 6 o'clock. Ann has tonight off. We begin tonight in the Weather Center because Rob Ellis is in for Angela. How long is this heat going to stick around?
I think you're going to have to deal with 90-degree temperatures at least through the end of this week. The feels like temperatures are probably going to go up a little bit, but by the time we get to July 4th, we should see some relief. Current heat index values are in the triple digits. When you look at the larger picture, you can see we are not alone. This heat has been building across parts of the Midwest. It is now moving our way, and it's going to stick around for a while. A little closer in, temperatures have come down a degree. We were at 91 earlier. We're now down to 90, but it still feels like triple digits depending upon where you are, or upper 90s. There's a lot of humidity in place, and that's why it's been feeling so much warmer. Future track will call for that to ease a bit overnight, and then tomorrow we pick it back up. I think a little bit warmer for our heat index values. 105 is what we're expecting for heat index tomorrow, and then probably doing the same thing as we look to Wednesday, and probably the same thing as we look to Thursday before we start to see some changes. Because of that, there are heat advisories that are in place. These heat advisories to let you know that if you are going to be out and about, especially during the peak heating times, make sure you are taking any precautions to protect yourself, because you can get overheated very quickly. You're going to want to find ways to cool yourself down. Rich Nye, who is always cool, doesn't need places to cool down because he's always a cool person, but he has found just the best place to do that. Rich, you look like you have been having a blast out there today.
I certainly have, Rob. Now, I was running around all day to splash pads and city pools and parks, and I got hot and sweaty. So I have been cooling off late this afternoon, and this is a great place to do it. We are at the O'Bannon Park. This is near 16th and College, one of the many 21 splash pads around Marion County. You can probably find one within 10 or 15 minutes of your house. But what I did learn today is that city pools are closed on Mondays. And there is one pool that is not going to open at all this summer. Let me show you the Som Aquatic Center. This is up on the northeast side of town on 91st Street, and it is closed for the summer, although you'll look around and it looks like it's ready to go. And equipment-wise, it is. Staff-wise, no. In recent years, they've had a problem hiring enough lifeguards to open all the city pools. But at this park, the problem is they have not had a manager at the park for over a year now. And without a manager, they cannot open the park, and it's not going to open this summer.
The challenge this year was actually a little bit different because it was that full-time position that we struggled with. But you know, that pool has more lifeguards needed than any other pool, which makes it challenging during good circumstances. And unfortunately this year, we worked at it. We tried to move other staff and try and support in that role. Unfortunately, it's just a really difficult pool, and we're disappointed. That was never the outcome we were going for. Unfortunately, it just our summer season is so short when schools go back that we pushed it as much as we could, realized it wasn't going to happen.
Now, what is going to happen is 15 city pools will open again tomorrow. City pools open Tuesday through Sunday. The hours are generally about 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. This is the Garfield Park Family Aquatic Center on the near south side, and it will be open tomorrow, and you can bet it will be busy. Admission is between $3 and $6 for city pools, depending on the one that you're going to and the location and your age. Back here live at O'Bannon Park, we are having a good time, aren't we? Yeah, we're having a great time here tonight. It's wonderful to be getting wet when it's this hot, and the water feels so good.
Oh, you avoided the water right there, Rich. Very well done. All right, we'll let you set down the microphone and run through the splash pad. Well done, my friend. Well, the city says cooling centers in public areas are also open right now if you're trying to escape the heat. So that includes Indy Park's family centers and branches of the Indianapolis Public Library. The city says they're open during regular business hours. We've got a full list of the locations along with those hours on WTHR.com. And it is really important for you to know the symptoms of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. So if it's heat exhaustion, you would experience things like dizziness, thirst, heavy sweating, or nausea. For heat stroke, it would be confusion and unconsciousness. Either way, Be sure you call 911 immediately if you do experience those symptoms. And you can track this heat right now by using our WTHR streaming app. You can find our live heat map tracking temperatures in real time near you. Just download our free streaming app on your television. Well, tonight at 6, we're getting a look at the results of the youth curfew enforcement here in our city. Only 5 teenagers in Indianapolis caught past curfew were taken to the city's Connection Center last weekend. Tonight, our Ashton Hackman explains why police believe this approach is working.
After last year's deadly 4th of July weekend, city leaders made juvenile curfew enforcement a priority. Instead of taking curfew violators to juvenile detention, officers bring them to the Connection Center at an undisclosed location. Police say the goal is intervention, not punishment.
I think it gives us an opportunity to get in front of parents and have more of these direct conversations. The purpose behind the Connection Center is simple. It's accountability paired with opportunity.
Instead of ending with an arrest, the process continues inside. Staff at the center contact parents, connect families with services, and try to address why teens were out in the first place.
Yeah, we're appreciative of the parents and the guardians and the community members and the visitors and our community partners that continue to step up and come alongside us in keeping our young people safe.
Whether that trend continues will likely become clearer after the holiday weekend. Metro Police tell us they will share safety plans ahead of the big 4th of July sometime this week. In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
Tonight, court documents are revealing new details in the case of a Marion man who is tonight charged with child sex crimes. Jacob Deck is facing 13 charges after police tell us they discovered child sex abuse material on his phone. This isn't his first time he's facing these kinds of charges. Deck was convicted of possession of child porn back in 2024. The Grant County Sheriff's Office told us that Deck also failed to register as a sex offender following his conviction. Tonight, he's currently being held on $50,000 cash bond. Right now at 6, police in Greenfield are investigating a multi-million-dollar heist that started in Pennsylvania and ended in Hancock County. A man driving a semi-truck pulled over and arrested for, police say, they found in the trailer. Samantha Johnson shares details of this wild story.
It was a flock camera off I-70 that spotted that wanted semi-tractor trailer out of PA. Officers knew it could have some stolen cargo in it. And take a look at what they found inside. This is 10 pallets of tungsten oxide powder, nearly 40,000 pounds of it, all of it swiped using fake documents, almost $3 million in stolen cargo. Now, if you're like me, you're wondering what you do with tungsten oxide powder. An internet search will tell you it can be used to make advanced technologies and tools. Greenfield Police doing a little research themselves.
You know, that's kind of a new one to me. From what I gathered from looking and researching is that it's a powder used for metal, basically, devices. I think the biggest thing right now is just making sure that the product get back to the rightful owners. The
owners, by the way, Mitsubishi Materials in Japan. So police here in Greenfield are now working with them to get those materials back. As for the 31-year-old driver, he was booked into the Hancock County Jail. The prosecutor's office and Pennsylvania state troopers now looking at potential charges. In Hancock County, Samantha Johnson, 13 News.